Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syahirah binti Zulkifli. Metric number 10DTK90F1027. Okay, I want to talk about multi-threading. Okay, multi-threading have two types. First type is user thread and second type is kernel thread. Okay, first type user thread are supported above the kernel without kernel support. These are the thread that application program would put into the program. Okay. Second type, kernel thread are supported within the kernel of the OS itself. Okay. On modern OS support kernel level thread, allowing the kernel to perform multiple simultaneous tasks and or to service multiple kernel system calls simultaneously. Multi-threading have three model. First model is many-to-many model. The second model is many-to-one model. And third model is one-to-one model. Okay, many-to-many model multiplexes any number of user thread onto an equal or small number of kernel thread. Okay, combining the best feature of the one-to-one and many-to-one model. Okay, user have no restriction on the number of thread created. Blocking kernel system call do not block the entire process. Okay, process can be split across multiple processor. Okay, individual processor may be allocated variable number of kernel thread depending on the number of CPU present and other factor. Okay, one popular variation of the many-to-many model is the two-tier model, which allow the many-to-many or one-to-one operation. The second model is many-to-one model. Okay, many user level thread all mapped onto a single kernel thread. Okay, thread management is handled by the thread library in user space, which is very efficient. However, if a blocking system call is made, then the entire process block, even if the other user thread would otherwise be able to continue. Okay, because a single kernel thread can operate only a single CPU, the many-to-one model does not allow individual process to be split across multiple CPU. Okay, green thread for Solaris and GNU portable thread implement. The many-to-one model in the past, but few system continue to do so today. Okay, third model. One-to-one model create a split kernel thread to handle each user thread. One-to-one model overcome the problem listed above involving blocking system call and the splitting of process across multiple CPUs. Okay, however, the overhead of managing the one-to-one model is more significant, involving more overhead and slowing down the system. Okay, most implementation of this model place a limit on how many threads can be created. Okay, Linux and Windows from 95 to XP implement the one-to-one model for threads. Advantage of multi-threading. If a thread get a lot of cache miss, the other thread can continue taking advantage of the user's computer resources, which may lead to fast better overall execution, as these resources would have been added if only a single thread was executed. Okay. Also, if a thread cannot use also the computing resources of the CPU because its instruction depends on each other result. Okay. Running another thread may prevent use resources from become idle. Okay. If several threads work on the same set of data, they can actually share the cache, leading to better cache usage of synchronization on its values. Disadvantage of multi-threading. Okay. Multi-thread can interface with each other when sharing hardware resource such as cache of translation, look aside buffer, TLBs. As a result, execution time of a single thread are not improved but can be degraded even when only the thread is executing due to lower frequency of or additional pipeline stage that are necessary to accommodate thread switching hardware. Okay. From the software standpoint, hardware support for multi-threading is more visible to software, requiring more change to both application, program and operating system than multiprocessing. Hardware technique use the support multi-threading after parallel. The software technique use of computer multitasking of computer program. Okay, thread scheduling is also a major problem in multi-threading.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Shazwani binti Zulkafli, matric number 10DTK19F1026. Today I want to present about multiprocessing. Definition. Multiprocessor operating system allow the multiple processor, and thus processors are connected with physical memory, computer bus, clock and peripheral device. Main objective of using multiprocessor operating system is to consume high computing power and increase the execution speed of system. Component of multiprocessing. The first component is CPU. CPU is capable to access memory as well as controlling the entire I/O task. The second component is input-output processor. IP processor can access direct memory, and every I/O processor have to responsible for controlling all input and output tasks. The third component is input-output device. These devices are used for inserting the input command and producing output after processing. The last component is memory unit. Multiprocessor system use the two types of memory modules such as shared memory and distributed shared memory. There are 6 types of multiprocessing. First, symmetric. Second, asymmetric. Third, shared memory. Fourth, distributed memory. Fifth, UMA multiprocessor, and 6. NUMA multiprocessor. Advantage of multiprocessing. First, high throughput. Throughput is the number of processes executed by the CPU at the given time, so this type of system has higher throughput. Second is type of parallel processing. Parallel processing means the execution of multiple processes, also known as threads, at the same time. And third, less electricity usage. In a single processor system, there is more load as many processes have to be executed at a time. But in multiprocessor system, execution of multiple processes is done in a few times. That means multiprocessor CPUs consume low electricity than a single processor. Disadvantage of multiprocessing. First, communication. As multiple processors are communicating with each other, so the operating system implementation is complex to handle. Second is more memory required. As there are multiprocessors working with each other, so each processor needs memory space. And third is deadlock. If any processor is already using the I/O device, then other processor cannot use the same I/O device, which creates deadlock. The last is example of multiprocessing. The first example for symmetric multiprocessing. Windows NT, Solaris, Digital Unix, OS/2 and Linux. The second example is for asymmetric multiprocessing, Sun OS version 4 and iOS. Other examples are Intel Nehalem, Beckton Westmere Sandy Bridge, and AMD Opteron. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. My name is Muhammad Fayyad bin Muhammad Ayub. My metric number is 10DDK 19F1025. For today, I'm gonna talk about multitasking in operating system. So, first of all, what is multitasking? Multitasking is processing multiple tasks at one time. For example, when you see someone in the car next to you, eating a sandwich, talking on his cell phone, and trying to drive at the same time, that person is multitasking. Multitasking also refers to the way a computer works. Unlike the phone or other electronic devices, a computer's CPU can handle many processes at one time with complete accuracy. However, it only processes the instructions sent to it by the computer's software. Therefore, to make full use of the CPU's capabilities, the software must be able to process more than one task at a time or multitask. There are three types of multitasking in operating system, which is true multitasking, preemptive multitasking, and cooperative multitasking. True multitasking is the capacity of an operating system to carry out two or more tasks simultaneously rather than switching from one task to another. For example, running an MP3 player and a word processor application simultaneously and processing email while streaming a webinar. For preemptive multitasking, the operating system can initiate a context switching from the running process to another process. In other words, it interrupts applications and gives control to other processes outside the application's control. There will be interruption between processes. For cooperative multitasking, or can also be known as non-preemptive multitasking, it never initiates context switching from the running process to another process. It means that the process scheduler never interrupts a process unexpectedly. So, there is no interaction between the process. Now let's talk about its advantage and disadvantage. For the advantage, it is time shareable, in which all tasks are allocated specific piece of time, so they do not need for waiting time for CPU. Second, it is secured memory. Multitasking operating system has well-defined memory management because this operating system does not provide any types of permission of unwanted programs to wasting the memory. Third, background processing. Multitasking operating system creates the better environment to execute the background programs. These background programs are not transparent for normal users, but these programs help to run other programs smoothly, such as firewall, antivirus software, and many more. And lastly, it can use multiple programs. Users can operate multiple programs, such as Internet Browser, PowerPoint, MS Excel, games, and other utilities concurrently. Now, for the disadvantage. For the first disadvantage, it has memory boundation. Computer can get slow performance due to run multiple programs at the same time because main memory gets more load while loading multiple programs. CPU is not able to provide separate time for every programs, and its response time get increased. Main reason for occurring this problem is that it used to less capacity RAM. So, for getting the solution, it can be increase the RAM capacity. Second, when it have memory boundation, it also got processor boundation. Computer can run programs slowly due to slow speed of their processor, and its response time can increase while handling multiple programs. So to overcome this, we need better processing power. And lastly, the CPU will heat up due to multiple processes become busier at a time for executing any task in multitasking nature. So CPU produce more heat. That's all from me for today. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aizal Afami bin Muhammad Sabri from class DTK 3B, metric number 10 DTK 19F1047. Today I will present to you about the operating system chapter 6, which is NTFS. So what is NTFS? NTFS is a short form of the NT-file system. NTFS is a proprietary generating file system developed by Microsoft. Starting with Windows NT 3.1, it is the default file system of the Windows NT family. NTFS was first introduced in July 1993. NTFS is a process that the Windows NT operating system uses for storing, organizing, and finding files on a hard disk efficiently. So let's see about the benefits of NTFS. So what is the benefits? The benefits of NTFS are that compared to other similar file systems like File Allocation Table, FAT, and High Performance File System, HPFS, NTFS focuses on performance. NTFS allows file compression so your organization can enjoy increased storage space on a disk. Next, it focuses on security access control. NTFS will enable you to place permissions on files and folders so you can restrict access to mission-critical data. Third, it focuses on reliability. NTFS focuses on the consistency of the file system so that in the event of a disaster such as a power loss or system failure, you can quickly restore your data. Then, it focuses on disk space utilization. In addition to file compression, NTFS also allows disk quotas. This feature enables businesses to have even more control over storage space. Finally, it focuses on file system journaling. This means that you can easily keep a log of and audit the files added, modified, or deleted on the drive. This log is called the master file table, which is MFT. So, who uses NTFS? NTFS is used by Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 2000, and Windows NT. However, it is possible to leverage NTFS with other operating systems like Linux and BSD. The disadvantages of NTFS. The primary disadvantage of NTFS is that its modern capabilities aren't accessible to older technology. And because NTFS is designed to work with a Windows operating system, devices that operated from Mac or Android aren't always compatible. For example, Mac OS computers can read NTFS formatted drives, but they can only get written to NTFS with the help of third-party software. Next, media devices like DVD players, TVs, and digital cameras are likely too old to leverage NTFS storage devices. Additionally, NTFS does not include a system for guaranteeing performance and bandwidth to the file system, which can pose a problem to some users. The versions of NTFS. There's 5 versions of NTFS, which is the 1.0. The first the operating system is Windows NT 3.1. It released on 1993. The features on the Windows NT 3.1 is it is the initial version. Second, the 1.1 version, the Windows NT 3.51, which released on 1995. The new features from based on the first generation. It has compressed files, name streams, and access control list. The third, it is version 1.2. Windows NT 4.0, which released on 1996. The new features in this version is the security descriptors. Okay, number 4. The version 3.0. The operating system Windows 2000. It released on year 2000, and the new features on this version is disk quotas, encrypting file system, sparse files, repulse points, update sequence number USN, journaling, the extend folder and its files. The final version is 3.1, which is Windows XP. It released on October 2001, and the new features on this version is expanded the master file table, which is MFT, entries with redundant MFT record number, which is useful for recovering damaged MFT files. How to confirm that your laptop uses the NTFS file system? First, you open your My Computer or this PC. In Windows Vista, choose Start Computer. In Windows XP, choose Start and My Computer. For my PC, I click on this PC and right click on my laptop hard drive. I right click on my laptop hard drive icon to select it, which is the C drive. Then I select properties, and we check to see that it says file system NTFS in the details information. Close the window. See, I open my computer or this PC and my local disk C, and I right click and I click on the properties, and it shows this. Then it says file system NTFS. So my laptop uses NTFS. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi. My name is Muhammad Firman bin Ramli and I'm from DTK 3B, and my matric number is 10 DTK 19F1032. And today I'm going to present about operating system in chapter 6. I'm going to present about FAT. So what is FAT? So FAT is a short form for file allocation table. So Microsoft create file allocation table system in 1977, and it is the simplest file system support by Windows NT. It is the oldest of two file system and therefore isn't efficient or advanced. However, it does offer more compatibility with other operating system and removable storage device. The FAT is used to describe the allocation status of cluster, the basic unit of logical storage on hard drive. So in file system, as well as the link relationship between each, it acts as a table of contents for operating system, indicating where directories and files are stored on a disk. So where you can find this FAT? FAT is often most used in a removable storage device such as digital cameras, smart TV, and other portable device. If you can't find this, or you don't have cameras or smart TV, you can find this most usually in flash drive and external hard drive, such as in this picture. So file allocation table is critical part of FAT file system. If the FAT is damaged or lost, the file on the hard drive become unreadable. So there are many versions of FAT. There are FAT 12, FAT 16, FAT 32, and EXFAT. So FAT16 is the oldest, great for DOS, supported by most OS, cannot be installed on partition larger than 2 GB or hard drive larger than 4 GB. FAT32 is the improvement to the original FAT system, since it uses more bits to identify each cluster on the disk. This helps the computer locate file easy and allow for smallest cluster, which improve the file efficiency of your hard drive. FAT32 support this from 512 TB and compatible with your Windows 98 and up. So EXFAT is optimized for flash drive and hard drive and designed to be lightweight file system like FAT32. EXFAT has large limit and file partition size, allow you to store file much larger than 4 GB, was a huge improvement from FAT32. So these are several limitations of FAT32. So FAT32 only support file up to 4 GB in size and volume up to 2 TB in size. FAT32 is a generalist file system, which means corruption can happen more easily. FAT32 doesn't support file permission. So FAT versus NTFS, which one is better? So basically FAT and NTFS have their own advantage and disadvantage. So NTFS has offered different enhancement and offer increased security. FAT is more simplest file system of the two. Choosing the right operating system is your need. Fault tolerance. NTFS automatically repair file folder in case of power failure or error. FAT32 maintain two different copies of the FAT in case of the damage. Security. FAT32 only offers share permission, while NTFS allow you to set specific permission to locate local files folder. Comparison. FAT32 does not offer any comparison option. NTFS does allow for individual comparison of files and folders so you don't slow down the system. Compatibility. NTFS is compatible with operating system back to Windows XP. For Mac OS user, however, NTFS system can only be read by Mac, while FAT32 drive can be both read and written to by Mac OS. So, for example, if you want to find where is the file system was, so you can plug in your flash drive or your external hard drive. Go to my computer and then right click on properties, and then you can find this table. So the file system used on flash drive is FAT32, while in my external hard drive the file system used as exFAT, because exFAT can fit more partition in large file. So it's around 1 terabyte on my external hard drive and 8 gigabyte on my flash drive. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.